Well, hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. In a little bit more than 1 hour, we are gonna get the second meta for Battlegrounds season, 35 now? And this meta is going to be different, significantly different. And again, a final reminder here for people, you do not get to complain about this meta at all because community voted for this. Effectively what we chose. Offensive nodes, red scare, so every time #offensive.champion applies damaging effect with the duration, they gain a 15% wishes buff lasting 20 seconds, max stacks 5. This wishes also enforces damaging passives and burst effects. Then we have Polka power, means that you do not get any power from hitting the opponents or getting hit, but you do get 12% of your bar power per second while the defender is suffering from a damaging effect. It also works with passive effects, and additionally, stuff like Mystic Dispersion and power gains do work. Power Shield, the attacker's basic attacks deal no damage, but will still generate power, and except they don't. Their special attacks deal 400% more damage. So this meta is a type of meta where significant portions of the champions just don't work. As in, unless you can access damage over time effects with your base hit, you just do no damage. So it's going to be kind of easy to trap the opponents in a sense. Or it would be if you don't kind of completely pack your deck with champions that will work. Using this, also we have Hurt Locker. This is one thing that I always forgot in this meta, but using the same type of special attack twice in a row gives attacker a delayed blast for 5 seconds, which may be removed by landing a heavy attack. If the blast expires, the attacker takes 50% of their health as direct damage. And that is the meta. So, what will be the MVPs? Let's start with Science class. In Science class, we do not have too many champions that will work, actually. Science is going to be very restricted class here. Human Torch, probably going to be one of the best options, because obviously, no flames, and well, hardly anybody is immune to no flames, and you easily access them constantly, so Human Torch will do fine. Thing is going to be a very good defensive asset in this meta because regular hits do not do any damage, and then when special attack hit is going to land, he's going to trigger his protection and survive. So he's going to be a very nasty defender. Then we have Scorpion. Scorpion, again, easy access to any debuff on the world. Well, not any debuff, but poisons and shocks and ruptures, so he can find, a debuff that you can apply to anybody. And the Power Shield, level 2 with a bit of heavy charging. Easy kills right there. Then moving on, Lizard, access to Raptures on the base hits, so he does also kind of work reasonably well. Then we do have Rhino, which I do want to see what his defensive impact will be, and he likely is going to be quite a potent defender. Then we have Photon, obviously primarily for defensive purposes. Yelena is going to be one of the best defenders because she effectively neutralizes the whole power shield aspect of all of it. So, Yelena is going to be a crazy good defender for sure. Offensively, she's not going to work, but as defender, she's going to be nice. Punisher is going to be, again, a dual-purpose champion here. He does have access to bleeds, and he can be a nasty defender. Skill attacker, the best skill attacker is going to be Okoye by far. Easy access to either bleeds or shocks, and then obviously just nuke with her anyways, and she's going to be crazy good for this. Then we have Nick Fury, defense and access to bleed, so he can work with the power shield node as well. So Nick is going to be a main for sure. And then there's a whole bunch of skill champions that that do work, but I do not personally intend to run, for example. Like we're going to have a Black Cat, obviously access to bleeds, but, bleeds is not necessarily going to be the most reliable debuff. Then we have Black Widow Deadly Origins, again, easy access to shocks, get level 2, everything will die. Then we have Shield, easy access to bleeds here as well. So obviously there's like Hit Monkey and there's Mole Man, and there are other options too, but I don't plan on running too many of these champions personally, because again, the bleed debuff is kind of the easiest immunity to find in nature. Moving on, Captain Britain. Captain Britain is going to be back to being a good defender in this. She's also going to be kind of viable on attack too, because you can inflict that passive Neuroshock. But primarily, obviously, she's going to be a defender with not that many great counters available in the meta. Because, Jack doesn't work, Nimrod's not going to work, so on and so forth. The best options here probably be Yondu, Bastion, a few others, but there's not going to be many great options to deal with him. Then we have Deadpool X-Force. Same thing that I said about bleed champions like Black Cat and whatnot, except the difference here is Deadpool X-Force, when he works, he's gonna nuke everything in one level 1. So he, in my opinion, would be worth the extra effort to run him, because again, one level 1 and just about anything will die from that can bleed in this meta. So that's gonna be great. Domino should be a feasibly okay defender, and her crit fail also does count, so technically she can also work on attack, but you know what? I think Cassandra is gonna shine in this meta. I do think her Neuroshocks, again being passives, and her with Power Shield, that sounds like an amazing combination. She should work tremendously well. And again, you can start applying Neuroshocks with your base hits as well. You just need to get past 10 Daunted. So Cassandra should see some rise in usage. Onslaught's going to work extremely well. Easy access Neuroshocks, which what nobody's immune to. So that works great. I actually think Negasonic Teenage Warhead's going to make a massive comeback, because, you know, all passive incinerates, nothing can shrug it off. She's going to work for Zemo and a whole bunch of other annoying defenders that I did not highlight before, but Zemo should be quite good on defense too. Then we have Havoc. Havoc should be quite good, both as a dual threat, because number one, his heavy attack debuff does count as a dot, so he can gain power. And then second of all, obviously on defense, there will be bleeds or any energy dots that simply do not work against him, so good stuff. So he should be doing quite well. Iceman's going to be one of the gnarliest defenders. I'm still thinking whether I do rank for him or just ban him, because he's going to be a menace. There are like 3 good options against Iceman in the next meta, which would be Ironheart, which would be Sentinel. I think I forgot the third one, but there's one. Oh, Sasquatch. Sasquatch will work against him too. But yeah, I don't know. He should be an absolute menace in the Polka Dot Power Shield meta. Obviously, Jean Grey is going to be fantastic still. She's going to nuke everything in a single level 2. It's going to be glorious. Then we have Sunspot, should work just fine. Gentle, again, he works reasonably well because you only need to finish one combo with a light attack, I believe. Which one? 4th light attack, yeah, you need to get the muscle mass finish combo with light attack. You get to rupture an opponent for 15 seconds, basically build up to level 2, and you're going to be doing some serious damage. Also can have some defensive utility too, so Gentle should work reasonably well. Hyperion is another champion I'm kind of thinking, do I rank for him for this? Because again, power gain at the beginning, get to that level 1 with some Furies active, drop that level 1, get some Incinerates, and then, you know, just destroy. So Hyperion should be quite nice for this. Dark Phoenix obviously still going to be a viable defender. Caroline Dean, she's going to be a menace as well. You will, you know, take time building up to your first level 2 with her natural power gain only. But after that, you drop that level 2, you get the passive Incinerates, you gain power very fast, and with Power Shield, you finish the fight incredibly quickly. Then we have Venom, obviously access to bleed. I'm personally not going to be running him, but he should work just about fine. Serpent, again, primarily defense. With his natural power gain, you can kind of probably get away with using him on attack as well, but it's not going to be the best. It's, again, primarily the defense. Vision Arcus could be a sneaky pick here, because Cold Snap, right? And with Power Shield, he should be doing some decent damage and could have some niche defensive utility. Then on defense, you obviously have Zola. He also works on attack with his heavy attacks, so you can make him work on attack to a degree as well. But obviously primarily the defense, because most of the Cosmic Champions don't really work well, or most of his counters will not really work that well in the meta. We have Fam. He's going to be a defender because of his damage cap. Whenever he would lose, his damage capped at 10% health, plus you can have to deal with the regens. And you can actually use him offensively when you do trigger his disintegration via his natural abilities. You can start gaining power as well. Not going to be the best attacker, but still viable. And then, obviously, defense. Then we have Bastion, who's again one of those champions. Do I rank him or do I ban him? Because 2 level 1s, everything will die, and he's quite versatile because just about nothing's immune to disintegration. Very easy to apply with the heavy attack. It's going to work well. Then we have Ironheart, as I mentioned, again, 2 different dots, Rupture and Incinerate. Very versatile, easy access dots with Power Shield. She's going to be doing a ton of damage. Then we have Infamous Iron Man, which, you know, I'm going to take it away, but, you know, he's still viable. Sentinel definitely will still work, but you primarily do rely, not primarily, you exclusively rely on the shock in order to get your level 2. and then you can destroy somebody. And obviously he's going to be a viable defender in next meta too. We have Prowler, start with a heavy attack, rely on that Incinerate to gain power, and then, you know, level 2 and just about everything dies. Also a somewhat viable Captain Britain counter in this meta. Then we have Solvark. Solvark will also work because of his cold snaps, both in attack and defense, so he's going to be a solid champ for this. Yondu, he's not going to be nowhere near as dominant as he was in the Invade meta, but he's still going to be viable for this one because obviously easy access to Rapture, even through block. You gain power, and then, you know, level 2 with Power Shield should be doing some decent damage. Then we have Warlock again. I personally don't plan on running him, but, you know, with the bleeds from the heavy attack, he can absolutely work at level 2. Most of the things should die. Mystic class, this guy's going to be a menace. If you don't have a 7-star and you see opponent having a 7-star, just ban him flat out. He doesn't get affected by the Polka Dot power at all whatsoever because, well, he doesn't get power normally anyways. And he starts with the bar power, you're going to drop that level 1, you're immediately going to get level 2, you're going to drop that level 2, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. He's going to be very fast, very potent attacker in this meta. He's going to be one of the most brutal mystic nukes here. Then you have Diablo, that can absolutely work as well, because obviously he does have access to poisons. Kindred, he's going to be a menace on defense. Kushal is going to be one of the craziest attackers. Get to that level 1, drop the level 1, and everything's going to melt with that 400% increased incinerate. Nico is going to be quite brutal as well in this meta. In most instances, she's not going to work in every matchup, so you kind of need to follow that along, but she can be absolutely brutal too. Tigra is going to be crazy good because, again, Rapture, very few champions are immune to, and then obviously her own natural power gain, drop a level 2, everything's dead. Spiral, again, one more champion. I'm thinking, do I rank her up or not? We'll see about that, but Spiral should work very well in this, and Werewolf. Werewolf's going to be insane. Believe you me on this, Werewolf is going to absolutely trash the meta. Obviously, there will be other viable champions and options that I have not mentioned here. Zemo is going to be a good defender. Definitely wanted to shout him out. I kind of forgot in the first go around, but yeah, Zemo is going to work. Arcade can work as well offensively because, you know, he does have access to his poisons, and then he's got all the dots on his specials. You know, I doubt anybody's going to run something like Black Panther OG. But obviously there will be more options. Dracula is quite interesting. I think Dracula, if you do have Dracula that you ranked up for Prestige, I definitely encourage you to try it out because it does have dot the entire time of the fight, obviously. And with Power Shield, could have some interesting damage there as well, for sure. So something to watch out for that. Elsa can work, easy access to dots. I kind of went over the MVPs there. I will make another video in like a day or two just to show you guys the deck that I'm currently working with and potential changes that I will be making. But let me know, what do you expect your MVPs to be? I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about